What's up, guys? Pete from the basement back again with a segment episode. It is Sunday night that I'm recording this segment for you because it's taken me this long to actually get some semblance of my voice back and kick the fever that's been busting my ass since about Wednesday. Yeah, I've been sick as a dog for the entire weekend, and it pretty much fucking sucks. Yeah, it was really weird. Tish came over on like Monday or Tuesday to drop off a Wonder Woman book, and she's like, "Here, I want to review this on Saturday for the roundtable." And I try to tell her, like, "Tish, we just fucking reviewed this. I reviewed this last week. I have my own copy. I don't need it." And she's like, "No, take mine. I want to review my copy on the weekend." And then she fucking left. I couldn't even give it back to her. And I still got a fucking comic book. I don't even need it because I reviewed the goddamn thing last weekend. And then right after that, I got fucking sick as a dog. And just fever and fucking cold and shit and onset of a flu. So I just called the boys and told them to stay home while this bubonic malady leaves my fucking system. And it hasn't officially done that yet. It was, up here, like I said, fever and sinuses and whatnot. And if my head is New York here, and then, kind of move south, and if this is Florida, let's just say the disease has moved to Texas. So, you get the idea. And, speaking of Wonder Woman, Mason T. Gaines hit us up on the YouTube and told me, "Pete, you're being way too forgiving on the whole DC reboot thing. How is Batman number one great? Bruce Wayne looks like the older brother to a bunch of kids that are maybe a year or two apart in age." Batman I loved because it was simply Batman doing detective stuff. He was investigating a murder, and that's what I liked. One of my favorite Batman stories was the original Gotham Knights number one. It was Batman investigating the murder of a kid's parents, and just it was a one-issue book. The series wasn't one issue, but the storyline was one issue. I highly suggest you get it. You can get it on eBay for like $4. That is the heart of a Batman story, is the detective concept for me, and that's what I really liked about Batman number one, and that's what put it over detective for me. Even though detective has the Joker in it, and I love the Joker, but regardless of that, and as for how Bruce Wayne looks, that's just the artwork, and you can gripe about that, and you can nitpick about every little thing, but the fact of the matter is, I've been so hard up for a good Bat book lately that there's nothing else to do but just fucking sit back and accept it. And you have to realize that it's been shit. You can either tell it's fucking Batman traveling through time storyline, or you can bite the bullet, try to ignore what the fuck just happened over the course of the past 2 years, and deal with what they're giving us, because the alternative is not read them altogether and not have anything to do with your favorite characters, or B, they change it again, which they're not going to do anytime soon, and it could only get fucking worse if they do change it. What the fuck are they going to, what are we going to do then? So, but I did like the Batman story, and like I said, as for the artwork, there's really not too much you can do with that. Just let the artist get a little bit more used to drawing the differentiated characters. It's really true. Bruce Wayne did look very young in it, but a lot of the artists now are trying to draw him younger because maybe that's the whole reboot thing. They're trying to make him younger. I don't know, but there's a whole. If you try to figure out the history of what's going on with the whole DC reboot thing, and marry the history to the reboot, your brains are gonna fucking bleed out your nose. You gotta just accept the fact that it's like, well, it's just a comic book. Let me just read it and enjoy what's in front of me instead of trying to, think too much about it. Don't overthink it, because we can't. Otherwise we're gonna hate it and we're gonna be pissed off. And I ain't trying to be pissed off. I'm trying to like it. Wonder Woman, Mace said, terribly simple cartoony art for such a serious story. Again, when it comes to artwork and story being married together, it takes a lot for an artist and a writer to really get their techniques flowing like that. Azzarello did it with Rizzo, whatever, with 100 Bullets, and the other Batman story that they did. Broken City, I think was the name of it. I believe that Alex Maylev did it with Daredevil when he did his run on the book with I think that was Bendis at the time. You know, that not a lot of guys have that darker style, so that's just something you gotta kind of fucking bite the bullet about. Not a lot of guys have a dark style. If you're looking for some dark artwork that matches a story, I suggest you check out Alan Roberts' Crawl to Me or Wire Hangers. Both creator done, artist and writer is the same guy. Very fucking dark, weird ass artwork, and it matches the story perfectly. But the reason that I brought this up, Mason's letter, I'm putting so much effort into it, is the next 2 points. One is in issue 1 of Wonder Woman, I had no idea who Wonder Woman is or why she is Wonder Woman. Now I'm going to contradict myself here on purpose, because you don't need to explain who Wonder Woman is in a comic book, just like you don't need to explain who Batman is. Everybody knows. I know DC said they're getting new readers out of this whole thing, but that's not the case. If you get 5 fucking new readers across the country to read comic books, I'll be impressed. Their idea of new readers is getting people who never picked up the book before to do it, and you don't need to explain who Wonder Woman is to a comic book reader. I don't care if they've never fucking read a Wonder Woman book in their lives. Every comic book reader knows who Wonder Woman is. And those who don't, fuck you, you don't deserve to have it explained to you. Everybody knows who Wonder Woman is. I wouldn't have wanted them to take time out of the story to have to sit and explain who she is. And I'm going to agree with you on your final point, May. Supergirl was just a single fight scene dragged out, and I already had a very cool updated origin of Supergirl in 2005. I completely fucking agree with you, and you know, I found myself thinking that as I read it, and I forgot to mention it in my segment last week. But you're absolutely right. The Michael Turner story arc where Apocalypse was a fucking awesome Supergirl update. And I'm sitting there thinking like, fuck, we just had a new Supergirl, and now we got a new one again. But again, like I said, I'm trying to like it. I'm trying to just kind of accept what they're giving me without, you know, forcing myself to vomit on my sneakers. But at the same time, you're 100% right. The other Supergirl from Michael Turner was way more awesome. Jawa Trader hit us up also with a question: are there any cool Deadpool trades or Deadpool books? Our buddy Rich, who you see on the show every now and then, is reading the regular Deadpool series, and he swears by it. He finds it funny. Excuse me. Rich also turned me on to the Deadpool team-up books, which ran for about 12 or 13 issues. It started at Deadpool 900. And then it started to count down from there, and I think it got to like issue 887 or 888, whatever. And every last one of those was a single issue story, and it was just absolutely hysterical to see Deadpool interact with some of the more obscure Marvel Universe characters. He hooked up with The Thing, Hercules, and Galactus. I mean, the team up with Galactus is a fucking riot. But to answer your question, Jawa, any book where Deadpool is actually talking to his word balloons, I've always found to be a riot. He's cool in X-Force, but he's not the same funny asshole that he is in his own book. I would definitely go and just jump on wherever you can. I recently heard that the storyline with Deadpool and the Incredible Hulk in a recent line of Deadpool, recent issues, I don't remember what number they are offhand. I never got around to reading them, unfortunately, but I still have it on my to-do list to get on eBay. But I suggest you go out and pick up Deadpool Team Up, and just jump on a regular issue with Deadpool. Deadpool Max is horrendous. Stay the fuck away from it. Alright, let's get to some new comics for this week. First up this week, my book of the week was Aquaman Number One. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's Jeff Johns, so I was already going to give it a shot. But I think everybody kind of gave this book a shot just because this was the big fucking oddball. It's like, we're going to do another Aquaman Number One, and it's going to suck just because it's Aquaman. And it's funny because everybody knows Aquaman sucks, and even the people in the comic book know Aquaman sucks. And it's addressed that way. This one dude asks him, like, how does it feel to be like, you know, the Mort of the Justice League? Like, Another person is like, what are you doing here? We're on land, we're not on a boat. Why are you helping? And another guy is like, what? He stops in a fish, like a seafood place, and they're like, aren't you like eating your relatives? Like you talk to fish. Why are you eating here? And he's like, I don't talk to fish. Jeff Johns has a really good way of portraying Aquaman and getting around the stereotypes in a very humorous way. I found myself thoroughly enjoying it. It was just a dialogue book. There was some action in the front that was really fucking badass when this big truck is barreling down on Aquaman. These bank robbers are in the truck, and Aquaman stabs the thing with his trident and just picks the shit up and body slams the truck on the other side. Really awesome scene. I can't believe I liked it, truthfully. I will definitely be coming back for issue 2 because the villains that literally pop up out of the water on the last page are just the sickest, twisted looking ass motherfuckers you ever did see out of a fish world. Nice job. Nice job. I will definitely be sticking around with this for at least the first story arc. I'll probably stick around for the entire Jeff Johns run, before Aquaman gets sucky again. Superman number 1. This book has really great action. It was like a whole issue-long fight scene. This was as traditional a Superman book as the new DC reboot is going to give us, as far as like the Superman that we're used to. I do want to amend my review a little bit of Action Comics number 1. It was a bit harsh, just because it's Grant Morrison, and we all know how I feel about him. But he really did take. Went back and I read a couple of early Action comic books, online, and he really did he's trying to take Superman back to the very beginning. And like I said in one of my Facebook posts there, Grant Morrison, I think, is a shitty writer because he doesn't have the respect of the characters. He thinks his ego is too much, and his ego will drive the story, and he can do what he wants. But as far as research goes and things like that, he's brilliant. In that regard, he's brilliant. He will find a fucking issue of More Fun Comics number 32 from, whatever fucking West Bubba fuck year in 1940 something, that some dude popped up in this issue, and he'll just bring him back with a whole new storyline. The guy does an exorbitant amount of research, so I'll stick around on Action Comics in light of that, but I'm still not promising I'm going to like it too much. This Superman book I didn't care for, only because I didn't really like where Life found the supporting cast. I didn't like how the Daily Planet just got bought by this media mogul. Lois Lane is in charge now. The whole shit's practically going digital. It just wasn't that interesting to me. All of a sudden there's a random page with an alien in it that has to do with Stormwatch number 1. Did Stormwatch not sell enough that they needed to plug the shit in Superman? What happened here? Was this like an afterthought, and they took out another page worth of storyline for the sake of Stormwatch number 1? The fuck is that? But, like I said, it was good action. It was a good Superman fight scene. The fight scene was handled really, really well, in that you didn't have a ridiculously overpowerful Superman, and he was fighting an enemy that was just hurling fireballs all over the place at the entire city of Metropolis. And Superman, instead of fighting the enemy, is completely on a defensive battle, blocking fireballs all over the place and shit. So it was cool to see. It was very innovative. I liked the way they did it, and I liked the way Superman finished the fight with the fire creature. Also, no explanation for why there was a fire creature or anything like that. I assume we'll get that maybe in issue 2. I don't know if I'm going to stick around for issue 2, but if you're a Superman fan, let me know what you thought of this. Hit us up, questions@peachbasement.com. Facebook us. Love the threads on Facebook, guys. Love the attention, and you will get the fastest answers out of us on Facebook for sure. So facebook.com/peachbasement. And look for our reviews from Wednesday forward as we read each individual book. We'll throw up some tweets and let you guys know if it was good or bad or great or sucky. So hit it, follow us on Twitter as well, and encourage all your friends to do it too. Batman: The Dark Knight #1, once again by good old David Finch, and this time, I guess he learned his lesson about stories, because the last story that he wrote himself in The Dark Knight issues 1 through 5 was not good. Now he's got this guy Paul Jenkins writing it with him, and it's still not good. He's just got somebody else to share the blame with him. There's this whole... First of all, David Finch's artwork, when he draws Batman, is good. When he draws Bruce Wayne, every now and then when Dave Finch draws a face, he draws a very scrunched skin, like somebody just ate a really weird lemon, like a lemon, like a green lemon. Not a lime, like a green lemon. That's what the face looks like. Specifically this guy here. That he's a fucking detective and he's getting on Bruce Wayne's case for, funding Batman or whatever. And then all of a sudden, during another socialite happy fucking, party at the Wayne Manor, there's a big Arkham Asylum breakout, and, all of these this one guy on the GCPD looks like Commissioner Gordon, but somebody's calling him Sarge. I don't really understand what's going on there. Then you've got Batman standing all regal-like on the splash page here on top of the police car, and he runs in, and this is my biggest problem here. Batman already knows what's up. All the villains are leaving, and he's like, "Where's Two-Face? Two-Face, show yourself!" Like he already knows he's behind it. Two-Face no longer, Batty Boy. Now you can call me One-Face. Really? One-Face? That was so terribly original. First of all, it looks like Two-Face got in a hold of Bane's venom. I don't understand what the fuck is going on. I don't want to understand it. I don't like it. It's stupid. I will stick to Batman and Detective Comics. The Flash #1. Barry Allen, better known as the guy who caused the DC reboot. It was an okay story. If you like The Flash, cool. There's some weird shit going on. Once again, it's like a time travel kind of other worlds, parallel universes kind of story, because we got a friend of Barry Allen, a childhood friend who turns up dead, and then here he is again at the end of the book, and he's being chased by hundreds and hundreds of other hims. It's a parallel universe story. Already. It's issue fucking 1. Captain Cold, anyone? Gorilla Grodd? Anybody? Can we just have a fucking simple Flash story? This is my problem. When Jeff Johns was writing this shit, now Francis Manipool, nice try, didn't really sell me on this. It doesn't have that same lighthearted, fun feel that Jeff Johns' Flash #1 had, that I wish would have run for more than 13 issues, but somebody had to go and fuck up the DC universe. The Flash #1 that I read back when Johns did it, when the building collapsed, and all those people that was our home. Now what are we going to do? And all of a sudden you've got a couple panels of the Flash reading, how to construction manuals and blueprints and shit, and he builds up their house. And that was the Flash as well written as I've ever seen. Seeing the character, I'm gonna stick around for issue 2 just to kind of see if I really don't like it, because I like the Flash as a character, but I can't recommend this book to you. I really can't. Green Lantern New Guardians #1. The first several pages are just a redo of Green Lantern 50, when Hal Jordan became Parallax and killed the entire Green Lantern Corps of Oa, and then, excuse me, in the last several pages, Ganthet kind of crawls out of the rubble and finds Kyle Rayner on Earth and gives him the Green Lantern ring, the only Green Lantern ring left. And then for the rest of the story, you're shown random, other, ring slingers across the galaxy from different Star Sapphire, one of the random Red Lanterns, a random Sinestro Corps Lantern, whatever, and their rings all abandon them, and they all show up and want to join Kyle Rayner. They've all chosen Kyle Rayner for no reason at all. And then all of these people show up and say, "Hey, give us our rings back, you fucking thief." An interesting enough concept. I like the artwork. There was a cool shot of Times Square. I was happy with that. It's nice to see some DC heroes running around New York. Other than that, if you're not a big Green Lantern fan already, I don't know if this is a book for you. I wouldn't suggest this to new readers, but to an avid Green Lantern fan, sure, why not? Give it a try. Like I said, let us know what you think. I'm going to stick around for... I just want to know why these rings have abandoned everybody else and they chose Kyle. If it's a stupid concept, I'll let you know. Hopefully next month they explain it to us. Teen Titans, issue 1. This was a cool book. You've got Red Robin trying to, get the whole crew together. The government is hunting down superpowered teenagers. You've got Wonder Girl, who doesn't like the moniker Wonder Girl. And he recruits her first, and then they make their escape from, some government stooges. You've got Kid Flash making a mess of shit in the first several pages, and he may be the reason that the government is rounding up teenage superheroes and metahumans because they're reckless and stupid with their powers. But what really turned me on was the final page where the big government, spook guy says, well, if our boys can't bring him in, then we'll just have to release the Superboy. And that panel's right here. Cool, because as you guys know, Superboy is a clone of Superman. So I'm definitely going to stick around for Teen Titans, at least for a little while. It's funny, because I remember when Teen Titans first started the last time, and I just picked up like the first arc or two, and then I trailed off. So that may wind up happening again. I'm not sure. Excuse me. But we'll see. Firestorm number 1. I was kind of on the fence with. This wasn't what I was expecting. I was just expecting like Firestorm himself, as I always knew, was a combination of two different people, but one Firestorm. In this case, now you've got these two guys becoming two different Firestorms. And, well, these really fucking jerk-off bad guys are killing everyone left and right to get a hold of these 5, God particle, Firestorm particles that cause, the change in the first place. And, of course, it just comes into the hands of some high school kid who some, ridiculously egghead brain scientist just sent it to him. Because he got good grades in school. And, this scientist found him, the scientist knew he himself was in danger, so he sent it to this high school kid with good grades. That was the story I got out of that. Maybe I'm wrong. If I misread that, let me know. But that's what I got. And so these bad guys show up at the school. They're going to kill everybody that's still in the school after hours. And then this kid says, well, I got something to tell you. And they're like, what? Firestorm! Like he's fucking He-Man and raises the fucking power of Grayskull or something. And I never knew Firestorm changed by saying Firestorm before. But it was just always, he's Firestorm. But I don't know too much about the character, so I may be wrong. I'm defending the fact that I may be wrong here. But nevertheless, I've got 2 Firestorms now that combine into, they start fighting, and then they combine into this big Fury guy who looks like a Firestorm Hulk character. I didn't really understand what was going on. I don't know if I care enough to continue reading it into issue 2. I'll probably pick up issue 2 just to see if I don't care enough to have picked up issue 2, if that makes any sense. I would like to know what you guys thought of Firestorm, because I know this was another big one that was being talked about on Facebook and everything, and it was another one that some people were speculating whether or not it was going to be like a sleeper hit like Swamp Thing and Animal Man and Aquaman in this case this week. So let me know what you thought about Firestorm. Hit us up. Finally, one thing that was proved, I walked past this one, and then I went back for it so as not to pull a Blue Beetle / Animal Man. All-Star Western starring Jonah Hex. Seems to be a kind of, it's just a cool story because Jonah Hex used to him being like out west and doing cowboy stuff, and now he's in old Gotham, as Gotham is just kind of being built in the mid-1800s, late 1800s, whatever. And he's got this, have you ever seen From Hell with Johnny Depp, that Jack the Ripper shit? Well, it's the same concept. Whoever wrote this book saw the movie. And it was a good movie. I'm not saying it's not. And instead of Johnny Depp investigating the murder, you've got Dr. Arkham, the original Dr. Arkham, and Jonah Hex. Basically, you've got this Jack the Ripper type dude who's killing hooas all over town, and they track the the Jack the Ripper guy to. They figure he's probably like a really up and up character, who the real Jack the Ripper they thought was, because of his knowledge of how he cut these women open medically. Figured he's probably some kind of doctor or something. And they track him to an upscale party at the mayor's house, and they realize that everyone is wearing the skull ring that they thought was going to be unique to the killer, and they realize they're dealing with some kind of like crazy Freemason shit. It is the exact same plot of the movie From Hell. Just letting you know now, but it was a good movie, and I'm going to stick around and see how this plot turns out. Because we don't really know who did it. We don't know. We have a lot of suspects. We got too many suspects at this point. So, I would say pick it up anyway. Just for the hell of it. It was a fun book. It was a bit fucking wordy. I did not like the idea of Arkham like trying to psychoanalyze Jonah Hex throughout the entire book. I hope they don't do that shit for the second issue. I hope we're done with him trying to figure out who Jonah Hex is, but I don't think we are, because he says it at one point, he wants to make Hex a case study. But overall, I still enjoyed it. Like I said, it was wordy, but it was good. And Annihilators, Earthfall, issue 1 of 4, going to Marvel now. I wanted to like this, but again, I can't. And I'm not going to stick around. There is no plot developed yet. They're just, they handle some other minor problem, and then Cosmo, the Russian space dog, tells them, oh shit, we've got some other bigger fucking crisis, and it's going to happen on Earth, so get your asses to Earth. So the Annihilators, who if you don't know is like all of the really juiced up alpha omega level characters in the Marvel Galaxy. You got Beta Ray Bill, Silver Surfer, Gladiator from the Shi'ar, Quasar, a couple of other people I'm forgetting, Ronan the Accuser. So they wind up on Earth. We have no idea what the enemy is that they're running from, but some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents attack them for no reason, and this is all just to get the attention of the Avengers, who show up on a final splash page. And now we're going to spend the other half of issue 2 fighting the Avengers, probably for no reason, and trying to figure out why these guys are on Earth. And maybe they'll tell us the plot line at the end of the issue, and then we'll have 2 issues to resolve the shit. This is not going to be good. I already know it in my heart of hearts. This is not going to be good. I wanted to like Annihilators because I like the lineup of the team, and why you can't write a good story with these guys, I don't understand, but it's not going to be good. It's just not. Brilliant, I picked up because I'm stupid. From Bendis and Bagley. I picked it up because I like Mark Bagley's a lot. And this is about real-world kids, egghead geniuses, who invent superpowers. How? They don't tell us. Of course, because it's the first issue, and it's Bendis. Rule of 13. They don't even go remotely into it. They just have this kid deflect a bullet off of his head in the first one, and he's got like some kind of crazy telepathy powers, and he robs a bank. And then some shit happens off camera with just word balloons, where somebody's crying for help, and we don't know what's going on. And then there's a whole big, like, trying to like flesh out all the characters and everything, and that's the rest of the book. And all of these people are gathering together for one of the dude's birthdays, who comes back to town. And then they all decide to tell him, well, now that you're back, we can tell you we invented superpowers. And then the book ends. I don't care. I knew I wasn't going to like it. I just picked it up because this is like my number ones segment for you guys. It's been all number ones, this whole segment. And I knew that wasn't going to be good. I just picked it up because it was Mark Bagley, and maybe on the off chance it just happened to be fucking good. I would have hit like, a little bit of money in the lottery or something. But no, it was fucking stupid. Stay away from it. Closing out my segment with IDW's Ghostbusters Number One, Really cool story. Fun. If you liked the old real Ghostbusters cartoon, you're definitely going to like this. The artwork looks like it tries to emulate the cartoon without trying to recreate it, which is really a welcome, transition. It's like putting a new spin on that original artwork for the cartoon. The storyline is cool. It's like just picking up where the movies. It could just be an episode of the cartoon. If you liked it, if you like the characters of Ghostbusters, you will definitely like this. So I highly suggest you pick it up. If you're a Ghostbusters fan. If you don't give a fuck about the Ghostbusters, if you weren't around in the 1980s, you probably won't give a shit. But I'm nostalgic. I liked it. So, there's their fan base right there. IDW handles a lot of 80s properties that old bastards like me are gonna like, but maybe some young kids in their like early 20s or whatever are not gonna give a shit about. Because they haven't made a movie of it yet, and I hear they are making Ghostbusters 3. So maybe, hopefully it'll be good. All the original cast is back, so as long as it gets some more funding or whatever, hopefully we'll see some Ghostbusters going on in New York again. That'll be cool. I'm gonna turn you over to the rest of the guys now. I'm about to take some fucking Z-Packs, a sleeping pill so I can get the fuck to sleep, finally. And hopefully I kick this cold soon because I'm really sick of it. Get it? I'm sick of the flu. I'm sick of having the flu. See you guys next week. Oh, and one other thing. Remember, this is the 2-week mark. We have 2 more weeks to the New York Comic Con, and the Pete's Basement Boys will be there in the flesh in section F2 in Podcast Alley. So come visit us. We got our own table. We'll be walking around the con. We'll be at the table. We're going to have some t-shirts. We're going to have some cards for you. And we'll just be happy to fucking meet you and talk to you. So we'll see you at Comic Con, and we'll see you next week. Here's your color card, Steve. I don't have a, I don't know where the big one is. I think I left it upstairs, so using the back of a comic book board. There's your little color card. Hope you can see that. Don't be mad at me, because there is no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the basement. It is Sunday night when I am recording this segment for you guys, because it took me this long to finally kick the fever that's been knocking the shit out of me since about Wednesday. Yeah, that's kind of why we don't have a fucking cunt. Let's try that again. I have been battling a fever and what I suspect to be the onset of a flu since about Wednesday, Thursday. No, one more. Where else are we in here? Do 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 down down down. Oh yeah. Sorry about that, Steve. Just cut that part out.